Welcome back to r/IDontWorkHereLady, where today an entitled woman demands of a security guard to kick teenagers out of a store. If you are new to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe to join our awesome community, and without any further ado, let's dive right into the stories. And the first one is titled, Arrest This Juvenile Menace. This is my first post here, so I want to take the time to tell everyone a little about me. I am a retired paramedic. I was actually in basic EMT school, EMTB. The way I accomplished dual enrollment was because my grades were good enough to prove I would graduate high school, as you have to be at least 18 years old to be an EMT in Georgia. My birthday is in January and the school started on January 5th. EMT school at that time was a 6-month-long class, 2 nights per week. Of course, I graduated high school and the next week I graduate, and EMT and everything is going as planned and did for the next 26 years. Now, for one of the many stories I will share in this sub as well as others, I will have to match the sub will match the subject. I had just woken up after my grand total of 4 hours of sleep from my 24-hour shift of work. Need I even mention that I wanted to go home, but first I had to make a stop at People of Walmart store, as I am 99% positive my local Wally World is where that title was coined from. Heck, while on shift we would make stops in there after midnight just to see the finest of fine store patrons, to have a contest to see how many of our local city's finest were actually sober enough to stay between the aisles without taking out the pyramids of canned goods at the end of each one. I walked in the store still in full uniform. The uniform was easily confused with the police and security guards' uniforms, as they wear navy blue shirts with a badge, ID tag on a lanyard, French blue pants with navy stripes on the pants legs, and duty type work boots with zippers on the sides. We were often confused for police officers. I was on the dairy aisle with my buggy, getting some milk before heading from the back of the store to the front to finish my row by row shopping method. I got my milk and was about to push my cart on to the next stop, the cream freezer, and then the expectedly unexpected, if that makes sense, occurs. The start of the Queen Karen of blue hair story is like this. Now, before she made it to my aisle, I have to admit, I did hear some arguing the next aisle over and muffled yet still audible speech about, "Get me that bag off the top shelf." Then in a more demanding, "I told you, just simply get that bag for me, and you get that, and I'm not asking so nicely again." Now, what sounded like 2 younger boys mentioned to one another, "Who does this old geezer think she is?" Then a response from the other boy, "Have these blue hairs forgotten how to ask?" Yeah bro, all the old women had to do was ask. I suppose they intentionally said it loud enough for her to hear, and here we go. Y'all forgive me, as I usually type with a southern drawl, as well being from a very rural area of the West Georgia area. I hear none other than the Karen of the Walmart, I demand that you help me theme song in my mind. Those people too young to know who George of the Jungle is, please look it up, as the theme song is not a parody of the song You There. There were several others around me, so I thought nothing of it and continued shopping. Again, as I stopped to get eggs, she says it again. "Are you ignoring me or just ignorant? I need your immediate assistance." I looked around and had to ask, "Are you speaking to me?" She says in a condescending voice, "Well, you're the only security guard I see. So yes, I'm talking to you, and I need you to stop pretending like you are shopping and kick these juvenile delinquents out of this store." I reply as tactfully as a tired man just trying to get the hell in, get my items out and get out. "You cannot be shopping, you're the security guard on duty, so quit playing and get those obnoxious and rude children out of this store." I told her again, "Ma'am, I'm trying to..." Karen says very angrily and aggressively, walking at me, "You either help me or I will have you fired and banned from any job in security you will ever..." Things went downhill as rapidly as Clinton's pants under the Oval Office desk from here on out. My sleep-deprived and normally calm, cool and collected demeanor was spent. I'd had enough. My parents have never spoken to me this way, and I was actually taught not to do what I was about to do, so forgive me, Mom and Dad. I told her with my deep resonant daddy voice, as my wife calls it, "I do not work here, woman. I have tried on 3 prior occasions, but you keep running your mouth and never allow me to." She attempts to interrupt, but I stop her. She starts with, "No, you wait." I throw a hand up right about 6 inches from her face and say, See, there you go again. I suppose you were going to say you have never been spoken, so consider this the first truth that others have been too afraid to do. Again, I do not work here, I just got off my 24-hour job and drove 35 minutes here from a long night of dealing with Karens with far more issues than the issue you want me to assist you with, and I be damned if I'm going to put up with it from you for free. I barely get paid enough to deal with it while on duty. Why don't you find an actual security guard here? I am a medical professional, so find that security guard and he can assist you with whatever irrelevant cause to have in your twisted panties at the present time. Now leave me the hell alone, I wanna go home. I left her pale as a sheet and made it far enough away she had to tell back.
You just go ahead and leave and never think about coming back. I know the manager and he finds out there will be hell to pay.
Now, between the time hell and pay were spoken, I was struck with a small bag of powdered sugar that hit me and exploded all over my uniform. I have to admit that was one heck of a shot from one end of the aisle to the other. It did not hurt, so just made one hell of a mess. The manager now has heard what was going on, asked me what happened. Karen saw him approach and came down the aisle like Bruce Jenner and immediately tried to butt into the conversation the manager and I had started. She would get her turn. The manager told her we are talking and he would get her chance. Karen went ballistic.
You are already taking his side. He assaulted me, as well as the 2 other hoodlums that harassed and make fun of me for being old when all I wanted was help. Now, your security guy was very rude to me and I demand that he's fired and never gets a job again.
The manager let her speak and we did not interrupt, and then I gave my side of the story. I pretty much told him everything I overheard that later today to the boys, and then how she began to be so rude to me even after I told her multiple times, or tried to when I can get a word in edgewise, that I did not even work here. I told him he may want to check the security footage, because if she touched those young boys in any way, as well as her hitting me with the powdered sugar, that I want assault charges to be pressed upon her. By this time she's trying to make her way out of the store, but the manager radioed the true security and had them stop her until law enforcement could arrive. When I made it to the front and she was being put in handcuffs, she was still crying and with her quivering voice was still being Karen when she yelled to me,
"My husband is your local megachurch pastor and I promise you he will make sure all of you rude liars burn in hell after the way I was treated."
Labor to say, I am a Christian and I know that I am saved by grace through Jesus Christ, and there's nothing her husband can do to have that taken away from me. However, it is not in God's word that those that bear false witness have broken at least one of the 10 commandments. Not only that, well, that doesn't take him, but the day she goes before a secular judge and see how many of those 10 commandments are commuting into years. And the last one is titled Gym Mistake. So this happened about 4 to 5 years ago. Nothing bad happened, but I would like to share my experience since it was kind of funny. So I'm a 24-year-old guy just wanting to keep in shape, so I had purchased a membership at a gym in my hometown to which I still currently live in. Nothing special, just around $50 a month, and I get to use some extra perks like using the sauna whenever I wanted, and the best part was it was open 24 hours, so if I had some anger to blow off in the middle of the night, I could just jog there easily. Anyway, to the story. I was about 20 or 19 at the time and I was just getting in the rhythm of things with my workout regimen, and I was just leaving the locker room when a kind old man, looking quite well for his age, came up and asked me if I could show him how to work on one of the machines that worked the abs. I cannot remember which one exactly, but it does not matter at this point. I was pretty well built at the time with going to the gym every day, keeping myself in shape, so I just thought he asked if I could help because I looked like I knew what I was doing. But I was dead wrong. After I showed him how to work it and how he could get the best use out of it, and when I finished, I asked him why he came to me instead of an employee of the gym. He looked to me, his eyes wide with shock, and said the following, barely able to contain his laughter. "Old man, I honestly thought you were an employee of the gym, since you are wearing the same color clothes as them." The gym uniform for the employees was a red polo shirt with black dress pants. I had worn a red t-shirt with black sweatpants to the gym that day. He and I had a good laugh after that, and I went on to do my normal workout routine. Ever since then I have not seen the old guy during my workouts, and I never will, since I mainly do kickboxing at home and cancelled my membership to that gym. Thanks for reading. And guys, unfortunately, we have already reached the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed today's stories, and if you haven't already, please also go to patreon.com/ripeyoutube, where I upload exclusive Reddit videos starting at just $3 a month. This is a great way to support me in case you are interested, and the chance for me to become independent from YouTube revenue. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe and like the video, and I hope to see you again tomorrow.